Hey, and good evening, everyone, and welcome back to Travel Tips Tuesday. Thank you again for joining me tonight. I love doing this each and every week, and I do hope that this is of some benefit to you. And I would love to know if you've taken a piece of advice, if you've heard something that is meaningful to you, or something even that you disagree with. Please let me know. I would love to talk with you about that. I would love to hear what you think, so I can learn from you, so we can have a conversation about it, because I believe that we can all learn from each other. Tonight is September the 3rd, 2019. Our topic for this evening is Walt Disney World Resort Hotel perks. Are they worth it? And again, thank you to everyone that is tuning in live. Thank you to those that are listening via podcast. We have several folks that listen via podcast as well. It's a lot of fun. This is available if you search Travel Tips Tuesday on most of your major podcasting platforms. You can find it there. And I love it when people chime in for questions and comments and comment on my news feed and other posts that I have out there. It makes this thing worth it. It makes it all the better. So thank you for making Travel Tips Tuesday better. So first off tonight, though, I want to extend my own thoughts and prayers to all of those that have been, are, and will be affected by Hurricane Dorian, especially in the Bahamas. If you've been following newscasts, you are likely well aware of the tragedies that have struck, the lives that have been lost, the damage that has occurred, especially in the Bahamas, and even as much of the eastern United States coastline is on hurricane watch. Some are in hurricane warnings right now. Parts of Florida have been spared from the brunt of the impact of it, but it's a serious thing, and many lives have been impacted forever. I'm going to be sharing a few ways to support folks that have been impacted by the hurricane here in just a little bit, and we'll let you know some ways that you can donate, support, that kind of thing if you want to do that. One thing, though, that I have heard and that I continue to hear, though, is the value that people bring to vacation experiences. A lot of organizations like the Walt Disney Company and like Royal Caribbean, Norwegian Cruise Line, and many others who have large presences in the Bahamas and the Caribbean, especially, are taking action. They are putting boots on the ground, as it were. They are finding out how they can support. Yes, some of them are donating money. Some companies are matching funds, but there are also others. They have disaster relief agencies that they partner with. So, though I posted a couple of kind of posts or headlines from Walt Disney Company and Royal Caribbean saying they're going to be donating so much and also matching so much, they do far beyond just the dollar amount. They have whole parts of their organization that are dedicated to responding to events like this. So that makes me happy to know that they're doing that, and it doesn't take away what has happened, but it can provide some help and some assistance where it's needed. And again, it is all about the people. Walt Disney himself was all about the people. He believed that from moment one of when he started his company. And even more recently, a gentleman by the name of Lee Cockrell, which if you're a WDW Today podcast listener, or you listen to some other Disney podcasts that are out there, or you're familiar with the Walt Disney Company at all, or you've worked there, you've probably heard the last name Cockrell tossed around a couple of times. Lee Cockrell is the former vice president of operations for all of Walt Disney World. His son Dan was the vice president for the Magic Kingdom. Most recently, a little over a year ago when he retired, that's what he retired as. And so that name's very popular. But one thing Lee says, I had the chance to talk to him a few months ago on the phone, just a really cool experience. But one of the things he says is this. It's very simple. It's just a few words. It's all about the people. It's all about the people. None of these things that we do, that people have a chance to go and do and see and experience, would be possible if it weren't for the people that were there making them happen. The dreams of people, the imagination of people like Walt Disney, like many others, like the Imagineers that continue to develop and make things better and add new things to the parks, to the cruise line, to the resort hotels, to Aulani in Hawaii, to all the Disney things worldwide, the movies, the television shows. Everything Disney has a hand on would not be possible if it weren't for the people, if it weren't for the imagination, if it weren't for the dreams of people out there. We can talk all day long we can talk all day long about the technology and about a lot of the latest, greatest things, that are out there for folks to get their hands on. But at the end of the day, it would not be possible without the people that are out there. And that applies to Disney specifically with the whole Imagineering thing, right? But also to the resorts that have suffered catastrophic damage in the Bahamas, to many people that work day in, day out in your own jobs. It's all about the people, and it needs to be at the end of the day. So one of the things that I love talking about, and again, tonight's topic are the perks at the Walt Disney World Resort hotels. Those perks would not be possible without the people at Walt Disney World that make them happen, like the bus drivers that drive the buses, like the monorail pilots and the boat captains that drive the boats, and even the ones that drive the trains around. The one at Magic Kingdom and at Disneyland, and even over at Animal Kingdom, there's a train there. The ones that do that, the cast members that are there behind the scenes, that are also in front of the scenes, that are there, operating the attractions, making sure you're safe. The ones from whose minds come the stories that we all know and that we all love and that we, long to immerse ourselves in. I think that's why, people keep on coming back to Disney, is because of the storytelling. That's it. You want to be immersed in part of the story, and that's what Disney is all about. And those stories and those concepts and those things and ideas, those come in large part from people. So keep that in mind. And I'm going to be, again, sharing some ways in a little bit that you can support some of the people in the Bahamas, and otherwise later on I'll be dropping them in the comments. So after this is over, tomorrow come and check back, and you'll see a few links and things that you can explore if you like, if that's something you would like to do. Because I like to go beyond just thoughts and prayers. All right, so let's get into tonight's topic, and that is Walt Disney World Resort hotel perks. Are they worth it? And there are a lot of them out there, okay? There are a lot of perks. I've got a long list. I don't even know if I'm going to talk about all of them tonight. If you have one along the way that I don't get to, or something that you would like to you would like to talk about, please drop that in the comments. I love for these conversations that we have about travel, about Disney, to be an interaction, and I think we can benefit from that from each other. So I asked earlier today in my newsfeed and also on the Facebook story, I asked a couple of questions. The first one was, what do you wish was a perk that is not one now? Okay, what do you wish that was a perk that was not one now? That is not one now. And the other thing that I asked was, what is your favorite perk from staying at the Walt Disney World Resort? So I want to get into, first of all, the things that we wish were there, because we could talk for a while about that, but I would like to talk for a few minutes about that. Some people call this armchair Imagineering, right? You're not an Imagineer yourself, but you may have some ideas, and maybe you want to contribute, and you wish there were things that Disney was doing that they're not. And it's fun to speculate, it's fun to dream. Again, this is how dreams become reality, because people have them, and they don't want them just to stay stuck inside, but they want people to know about them. They want people to experience them. And I believe that's why Walt Disney World is such a powerful place, why the Walt Disney Company is such an amazing company. So in a number of different ways. So the first thing, what do you wish was on property as a perk that is not there now? One of the first things, my buddy Terry Weaver from the WDW Today podcast, if you've never listened to WDW Today, I highly suggest you do it. It's a great podcast. Terry suggested that there would be a target on property. Well, guess what? If you've been paying attention to the news feed recently, I don't think I mentioned this last week when I recapped D23, but if you've been listening recently, you will be aware that Target is going to be starting kind of mini Disney stores, a few hundred square feet in each of their Target stores. They're going to be actual Disney stores carrying actual Disney merchandise, not just Target branded Disney merchandise, but branded Disney merchandise. Some stuff that you can find even in the parks, some stuff that you can find at Disney stores, in shopping malls and the outlets and the ones that are out there. But Disney and Target have entered into a partnership. There are 25 stores they're going to be opening. I believe it's either 25 or 50. It's one of the two in the first round, kind of scattered throughout the country in different places. And one of those will be on property at Walt Disney World. So This is going to be one of the first to open, and we're very excited about that. For folks that are, wondering where to get last minute things, grocery shopping, you're down there and you're looking for, that odd end, whatever it is, medicine, pharmacy, you're going to have a Target right there coming soon. So again, other things that folks have tossed around, bottled water in the rooms, which would kind of be nice, I guess. I would almost prefer a reusable water bottle, as instead of the resort hotel mugs. I think a reusable water bottle would be a cool add-on. A better memory maker discount. So for those of you that don't know, if you go to Walt Disney World, you purchase the memory maker photo package, which is basically unlimited access to the PhotoPass photographers around property in a lot of different spots. In conjunction with your My Disney Experience account, you will have unlimited downloads. And it's not just people taking pictures like you would with your iPhone. Sometimes, or your Android, or whatever phone that you've got, or even good old DSLR. But they have some kind of videos they'll put together. They'll sprinkle in some extra magic. More characters will pop up. A number of different things. So my friend Adam Coleman says they need to have Dr. Pepper on property. Yes, that would be amazing if they did. I love Dr. Pepper, but Disney's got a pretty close relationship with the Coca-Cola company, so I don't know, and I've seen Dr. Pepper pop up in some, Coke soda fountains and stuff like that, but Dr. Pepper is definitely a favorite soda of mine. I would love to see it there. Thanks, Adam, for the comment. Parking. So for those of you that are not aware, in March of 2018, Disney began charging for parking at resort hotels, the Walt Disney World owned resort hotels on property. Many other resort hotels for a long time at other resorts, even close to Disney, and also in the Universal kind of Orlando area, SeaWorld, a lot of them, it's kind of standard practice to charge for that. And Walt Disney World was one of the last few major resort theme park areas out there that did not do that. But they are now, and it's one of the ways that they're hoping to enhance the guest experience by doing that. Kind of doesn't feel like that when they're wanting to charge you more money sometimes, but they still do offer the free parking in the parks themselves if you stay on property, which can be, depending on where you stay, depending if you're getting valet or not valet, that kind of thing. It can be cheaper to park or to stay to pay the nightly fee that you would at your resort hotel versus the daily parking fee that you might pay in a park. So if you follow me there, if you're driving down, that's one thing to consider if you're going to be driving or not with the parking fee. So the next thing is this. This is my thing. Okay, this is the last thing that I wish was there. And again, if you have something you want to contribute, please shout it out. Drop it in the comments. A fix for that post-trip Disney depression. If you've been to Walt Disney World, you know exactly what I'm talking about. This applies really to any vacation you go on. It's like, great, you have fun, it's a magical time, and you make all these memories and you do all these things. There's a lot of things you really wanted to do that you didn't get to do, and you're on your way home. You're like, man, I'm going home maybe, but I'm going back to the real world. I've got to go back to my routine. I've got to go back to my job. I've got to do all these things. It's just like, this is a sort of lull that kind of hits you a little bit, and that can be depressing. But one thing Disney does sometimes, you may, and this is kind of expected and unexpected in a way, they'll sprinkle a little magic on the way home. Maybe you'll receive a greeting card that you weren't expecting. Maybe they'll sprinkle a little bit of magic in your My Disney Experience account, even if you didn't buy a PhotoPass package. Maybe there's a picture in there for you that they wanted you to have as a gift for your vacation. So a lot of different things that they kind of do, but I don't feel that the consistency is always there for that. But I would love to see a way where they can, not just get you to buy a bunch of stuff in the gift shops, but to kind of continue on the magic when you get home in a way. And I don't know what that's going to look like. Yes, they got movies and TV shows and all those sorts of things. I've got pictures of Mickey and Oswald in my house right behind me here. So there's lots of different ways to do that. But I wish there was a way to continue that Disney Parks experience, as you got home. So again, don't know what that looks like, but this is just an idea. Okay, so there's a lot of different perks that we're about to get into. And one thing I want to remind you of, and this is just kind of one thing that it's not really a disclaimer just because this is part of what I do. As a travel agent, I have direct access to updates from Disney, to the perks that do change from year to year. And even in case of the parking issue, that changed mid-year, basically in the first, roughly in the second quarter of 2018, that changed it. So those are things that we like to be aware of, that we keep a pulse on, so we can let our guests, let our clients know what's coming down the pipeline to help you. And that's one of the reasons why I do this podcast, so I can be some of the first to tell you, hopefully, of some of the changes that are coming. And if you do have a vacation that is booked, most of the time Disney will honor the current promotions, perks, pricing, things of that nature, when you make that original reservation. There are some modifications. I need to tell you that there are some modifications that if you make on your reservation, if it's pre-booked, you'll be subject to the present pricing terms, promotional conditions, those sort of things, when you make the changes as opposed to when you originally booked it. So just to be aware of things like that. Again, I don't charge anything extra for you, but I like to try and think 2, 3, 4 steps ahead to make sure I'm prepared to help you when you need that assistance. So I'm trying to be here for you for that. So I just want to recap real quick. I've had a few people drop some comments in that I haven't gotten to just yet. I want to kind of rewind for a little bit. Just to let you know, Barbara is concerned about some of the cruises that are out there because of the hurricanes. Absolutely, there are a lot of people that were out there, trying to make modifications to their trips, and Disney and Royal Caribbean, Carnival, Princess, all the ones that have a presence in the Bahamas and the Caribbean. We're trying to be as proactive as possible, keeping a watch on the news, and keeping watch on their the National Weather Service and see what they were saying, things of that nature. And one of the things, honestly, and this is not to carry on or build myself up or anything, just generally speaking, one of the things that we can do as a travel agent is we don't have to tie up the phone lines. And here, I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why, because I've been getting emails from a lot of the cruise lines that I mentioned earlier, saying, hey, this is what we're doing. This is how we're compensating our guests. If they're doing that, this is what we're allowing. These are the policies that we are temporarily changing or putting on hold. If people need to make modifications, these are the things that we're doing. We can communicate those things to our guests without them having to tie up the phone lines and without us having to tie up the phone lines. So, I'm part of an amazing network of travel agents with Travelmation, some of which that are based, like a Travelmation is based in Southern Florida, basically. And those are so we want to stay informed, and we want to help you be informed to help, ease the anxiety, but also help you have a great vacation, have a great experience, hassle-free and stress-free. We don't want you to have to worry about, the weather and those kinds of things. If you're going to be concerned, yeah, we want to walk through those concerns with you. We're not going to discount them. But at the same time, we want to be respectful to the companies that have people on the ground that are there, that are on the ships, that are also at the in the private island resort areas and things of that nature, that help lead the excursions in the different islands and kind of the coastal towns that are being affected. So that's something that we can actually definitely help with. Hope was saying, I wish Disney still did small touches at the resort, like when her kids had their first trip ever they delivered. I think it won't let me open up the comment. Hang on just a second here. Yay for live, right? They delivered Mickey and Minnie to their room and an autographed picture of Minnie and Mickey. Super special, and the kids loved it. I heard they don't do those kinds of things anymore. Hope they actually do those things. Some, they're not consistent. They're not, it's not a guaranteed every stay kind of thing. I have had that happen with guests before that I've booked recently. And sometimes that's a matter of Disney knowing, do they have any special celebrations? Do they know what their special characters are? Now, has Disney changed the way that they collect information? Yes, they have changed the way they collect information. There used to be some other boxes in the My Disney Experience app that you could fill in to say, give them more information so they could be more proactive on that, but not all the time. But one of the things I love being able to do is finding out, if children are going their favorite characters, finding out if they have something they're celebrating, things of that nature. Does Disney do something every single time I pass on that information? No, but a lot of times they do, and it's really cool. It's really cool when they do. So, and another bonus for sharing that information with somebody like me is I can work with you to help make some magic happen. It might be something that comes with a minor cost, but again, I'm not charging extra fees. It would just be what it is. But there are ways to help birthday cakes magically appear, or favorite or other things magically appears at different meals, and maybe a gift pops up in your room when you get back there, and that's a surprise. So again, Disney doesn't make guarantees as far as those things. That's why they call it pixie dust. Sometimes Disney likes to sprinkle a little bit of that, not just when things go wrong either, because sometimes they will do that when things go wrong, when things don't go well. And if something doesn't go well, if something doesn't live up to your expectations, please don't be silent about it. Don't just tell your travel agent. Don't just tell the people that you're with. Tell the cast members that are closest to you that can resolve something faster. So cast members should be equipped. Again, I mentioned earlier on that Lee Cockrell and Walt Disney himself would even echo the sentiment that it's all about the people, and it is. And Disney equips their people well to handle situations. And if you're not satisfied with where you're at, escalate it. Ask for some additional help, some additional assistance. And I've had to do that. I've had to do that before for clients. I'm not afraid to. I'm not afraid to help you out. So that was kind of a little bit of a rabbit chase there. But let's see. Any other? Yes, pixie dust. Absolutely. There we go. All right. So continuing on. And again, I'm going to try not to go too long tonight because we've already been doing a little while. But the perks of staying at a Walt Disney World Resort Hotel. And some of these are specific to staying at a Disney Resort owned hotel, meaning not, some of the ones that are maybe in the Disney Springs area or like the Walt Disney World area, because there's some perks that are a little bit different. The perks are a little bit different for those versus the hotels, the 25 plus that Disney owns themselves. So already talked about parking. If I've already talked about these, I'm just going to kind of gloss over them. You can rewind and listen to them if you want. So we already talked about parking, direct access to the Walt Disney World transportation system from your resort hotel. So instead of having to remember where you parked your car or, walk out, stand in a line for a tram, and then go get in a car and wait in a car line to get out of the parks, you can go and wait for your bus, get on the bus, go straight back to your resort hotel. Sure, at the end of the night, it may take around 30 minutes or so to get there, but that is 30 minutes that you're not having to drive and worry about. You can just kind of chill on the way back. So anyway, if you have questions about that, the transportation system, how all that works, we've talked about that before in an episode, a few weeks, months ago, I think called Boats, Monorails, Boats and Buses, oh my, something like that. Extra magic hours. So extra magic hours are typically most of the time available in the morning. There's also this little thing called extra magic hours that's temporarily available through early November for the opening of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge at Disney's Hollywood Studios. Extra magic hours and extra magic hours are only available to Walt Disney World Resort Hotel guests in some limited Disney area resort hotels that have the ability to basically kind of put a package together. So when you book a package, there are a lot of perks that come together from staying at one of the Disney hotels or one of the partner hotels in the area. Some people call them good neighbor hotels, things of that nature. So, and the extra magic hours allow guests of those resorts to come in before the park is open to other ticketed guests. So you have to be staying at one of those resort hotels in order to get in there. And sometimes it's an hour or two, sometimes 3 in the case of the extra magic hours. Again, most of the time in the morning. They used to be about kind of split in the morning and at night. But now they've been filling the parks up a lot of times with special events like Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party, other after-hours dessert parties and events that are private ticketed events for nighttime. So, but occasionally, as in actually this week, Disney has modified extra magic hours to take place, I believe, tomorrow night at Magic Kingdom, when originally they were scheduled tomorrow morning. But because of the weather, the hurricane, closures, things of that nature, they have decided to modify that a little bit. So, all right. Awesome package deals that occasionally include awesome free offerings like free dining. So, free dining is still available right now. There's availability for free dining at the Walt Disney World Resort all the way through, I believe it's for select bookings in this month in September, but also in November and December as well. There are not any in October. But if you want to book a free dining package, give me a shout out. There's also some discount hotel rooms that are available. I'm running a promotion in conjunction on top of the free dining promotion. If you want to know more about that, I'll let you know. Would love to tell you more. It involves a free gift card and another free gift I'm going to send your way. And again, that is September, November, December of this year, 2019. You need to be aware of. So the other thing, we're gonna touch on this more at the very end, but close proximity. By staying in one of the resort hotels, you're in close proximity to the parks. It is easier to get around. Typically, you have the chance to experience more amenities around your resort hotel. So the magic doesn't stop at the gift shops. It doesn't stop at the theme parks. It doesn't stop at the rides, the roller coasters, and shows and things like that. A lot of it can take place at your own hotel, and we're going to talk more about that here in just a little bit. 60-day FastPass Plus planning. So from day 1 to day 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, however many days you're staying at the Walt Disney World Resort, you can plan fast passes for the number of ticketed days that you have, starting on that first day of your trip for the entire length. So 60 days out from that at least. So say 60 days from now, you're planning on going, you're staying for 5 days, you can book fast passes for that entire 5 days, not just the 60th day from now. If that makes sense. So one of the perks you have, and that can actually be very, very advantageous if you plan and do it properly, do it strategically. You think about the rides that are more popular, that have fast pass availability. You want to book those later in your trip. Here's a hack for you. You want to book them one of the later days of your trip because they're more likely to be available. So there's some things that I can do to help you with that, to walk through with that. I can get up at 6 o'clock in the morning and be up there to help you book those fast passes, so you don't have to be up early if you're getting ready for work, having breakfast with the family, whatever it is. I can just shoot you a text or an email saying, hey, it's done, here's what you got, let me know what you think, and we can go from there. It's one of the free things that I do for my clients. I'm able to get online to their accounts, provided they give me a little bit of information, and we'll make it happen for you. So access to dining plans. So dining plans can be part of resort hotel packages if you so choose, but you can only get those if you stay at one of the Disney resort hotels. If done correctly, they can actually save you a good bit of money if you're strategic about that. And again, I want to help you think strategically about your vacation experience so you can maximize the time, so you can maximize the amenities, the park tickets, the dining plans if you have them, the photo packages if you have them, all those things. All right, complimentary magic bands, and I meant to put mine on tonight, but magic band is something that you wear on your wrist. As a waterproof band that has an RFID chip in it. That is your park ticket. It is your door key. You can load up your credit card information to it, so you can have wireless charging privileges, and a number of different things that you can do with your magic band, including access to your fast passes for your attractions and rides. So magic bands are great, and if you stay on property at one of the Disney Resort hotels, you get one of those for free. They do have some that have different characters and designs and things on them that you can pay small $10, $15 upgrade fee for, but there are many solid colors that are awesome that we love, that you can get for free if you're staying on property. And those magic bands, by the way, you get one of those even if you don't go in one of the parks. So if you're going down there just to kind of hang out at Disney Springs or do whatever, and you're not even going into the parks, you get a magic band. So that's kind of cool, right? Magically themed rooms, so the pirate themed room, the pirate themed rooms, the royal guest rooms, many of the other rooms that just have some amazing, comfortable beds and couches and pillows and things like that, that are great. Lots of spacious, wonderful rooms. There are rooms at the Walt Disney World Resort plenty of them that will accommodate 5 or more guests. So for larger families. One of the other cool things, if you are a family with younger children and you're traveling to the Walt Disney World Resort, most of the time they will have pack and play yards available. Sometimes they will already be in the room for you, packed up. You have to unfold them, but if they're not, you can always call guest services, and per availability they can bring one for you. And as your agent, I can go ahead and say, hey, heads up, these folks are going to need, they're flying in, they're not bringing their pack and play with them, they're going to need one of these when they get there. So we can make sure those arrangements are made for you. And some of those things are per availability, but I've never heard of an issue of a resort hotel running out of pack and plays, because there'd be kids there, right? So access to signature services and club level rooms. So if you're looking for a plus experience at the Walt Disney World Resort, and you're looking for something where you've got free access to on-demand drinks and food during different times of the day, different types of food during different times of the day, and you want a personal concierge on site, think about staying at a club level room. It is a way to plus your experience. to make it all the more better. If you're looking for a little bit more luxury when you go down there, it's definitely something to consider. Club level rooms are great, and as I mentioned recently, at the Grand Destino Tower, which is part of Coronado Springs, the Coronado Springs Resort at Walt Disney World, that is actually a moderate resort hotel, but they do have club level amenities and a club level lounge available there at the Grand Destino Tower. So you can check that out. Would love to walk you through it if you have questions about it. Access to other magical extras, mostly around the Disney Springs area. So in the past, if you've been to the Walt Disney World Resort, back during the Magic Your Way ticket packages, which was not that long ago, and even more recently, you received a little card in the mail that said magical extras on it. You flip it around on the back, it had some kind of value dates on them, saying when this card was good for. You got discounts at golf courses, at Disney, different eateries, and even shopping destinations around Disney Springs. Even some free rounds of mini golf on property. So yes, Walt Disney World doesn't just have golf courses; they have mini golf courses that are kind of in close proximity to Disney Springs, and they're a lot of fun to do and to go play. So also Magical Express. This is one of the ones that you need to know about. So if you're like, man, I don't want to drive a car, I don't have to rent a car or anything like that, but how do I get to the resort hotel? I don't want to have to worry about car seats or anything because I've got kids with me. I am flying in, so like Lyft, Uber, taxi is not really an option. Disney's got your back. So they have this little thing called Magical Express. I've taken Magical Express, and I can tell you right now, it's very easy. It's a lot of fun, and sometimes they have Disney themed movies and music playing. A lot of the buses are decked out with Disney themed Disney themes plastered on the side. The cast members and employees that drive those buses are very friendly. They're cast members that are right there at Orlando International Airport to greet you, to make sure you're sorted into the correct line. And if you have questions about your luggage, that's a great thing about your luggage. They send you special yellow luggage tags in advance. You tag your luggage in advance, and it magically shows up in your room. So if you check your bags, there you go. They'll make sure it arrives at your room for you. Alicia Lildholt says, we love the mini golf passes. We use them and play around the day we check out before we head home. So fun. So that's one of the ways to kind of lessen that Disney depression a little bit, right? Spend some family time. You're not running around crazy in the parks. Go play around a mini golf, pop by Disney Springs for lunch, maybe go over to World Disney, hop in the car, head out, or take a shuttle over to or Lyft or Uber or taxi over to the airport. So great way just to kind of chill out. The mini golf is a lot of fun. I think the mini golf at Walt Disney World is actually a kind of hidden magical extra in a way, because a lot of people know about it. They'll drive right past it, they'll see it, but they don't know how fun it really is, and it is a lot of fun. So again, Magical Express involves it's free, didn't say that earlier. It is a free round trip transportation from Orlando International Airport directly to your resort hotels. They send you luggage tags in advance. They'll allow you to tag your luggage if you're checking it. Even if you're dropping it, loading it on a bus, they'll make sure that it gets to your room for you, so you can head directly to the parks if you want to. One tip, if you are taking Magical Express or you ever plan to, don't pack your magic bands, because they will need to scan those at the airport to sort you into your correct line, to confirm your Magical Express space, to make sure you get onto the right bus. There are ways to do it without them, but it's a lot easier if you have those magic bands already on your wrist as you get into their line at the airport. Some of Orlando's best pools are at Disney Resort hotels. So there's this little thing called pool hopping. And I bet some of you that are listening or watching to this have done pool hopping at Walt Disney World Resort before. In more recent years, they've actually cranked down on security for pool hopping, and also kind of limited people doing that, because at a lot of the resorts, especially some of the deluxe resorts like Beach Club and Animal Kingdom, the ones that Polynesian Village Resort, especially ones like those that have really, really neat pools, kind of even outdoor water park, kind of mini water park play areas at the resorts. People were taking advantage of the whole, pool hopping mentality. So people actually get bans to be able to get into those spaces now, and it's a little bit harder to do that than it was before. So there are some pools that are really neat, like the one at Beach Club that I mentioned a second ago. It's a sand bottom pool. They have a really cool water slide that comes out of a pirate ship. It's beautiful, it's wonderful, it's serene, and they do a lot of really cool things outside. Complimentary activities at different resort hotels. One of them that you'll see at most, if not all of them, I don't know for a fact that it's at all of them, but I'm pretty sure this is available at all of them, are movies under the stars. So many or most nights they will actually show movies outside, giant inflatable blow-up screen, speaker system, the whole bit, outside, sometimes by the pool, sometimes on the beach side if there's a beach available at that particular resort hotel, sometimes inside if they have to move it inside for weather-related reasons. Occasionally they will be canceled off for weather-related reasons, but not always. The movies under the stars are a great way to catch new releases and recently released and even classic Disney movies. And those movies that are shown there under the stars, that schedule does vary from week to week, from day to day. So that changes. That's one of the things that when you check in, if that's something you're curious about, you can ask the front desk. And many times they'll actually have signs out scattered throughout the resort and also the resort hotel, and also especially check out by the pool, because usually there's going to be something saying, hey, these are the movies that we've got under the stars, closer to pool areas typically. Other complimentary activities we've mentioned before, free activities or hidden Mickey hunts, other educational activities they have at some of the resort hotels like Animal Kingdom, the ones we've talked about at Animal Kingdom before, the Animal Kingdom Lodge rather, and many others as well. There's some other paid activities at some of the resorts as well. Some that are more adult friendly, like massages, are available at some of the resort hotels. My wife and I had the great blessing and awesome experience to get a couples massage at Senses by Disney at Disney's Grand Floridian Resort and Spa. Just a great choice. That is something that you need to do if you're going down there on a honeymoon, on an anniversary trip, on just a you and your spouse kind of trip. That is something you need to go do. You will thank yourself for it. It is a great way to loosen up those tight muscles after you've been walking around the park all day. Go to Magic Kingdom, hop on the monorail, go to the Grand Floridian. Good call. So great thing to do. A lot of other, again, complimentary and free activities as well, paid activities as well to do that are, some are adult friendly, some are kid friendly. So please keep that in mind. Walt Disney World, not just for kids, it's for adults too. Absolutely. Also access to in-room childcare. So this is one thing that, I've known a lot of families to go to Walt Disney World that will have grandmom, granddad, or both, or maybe even somebody, a teenager or something, college student, they'll pay to go with them that they know to help watch their kids for them, which is kind of cool if you ever want to go out. If mom, dad, whoever want to go on a ride together and they can't because they've got smaller children, you've got somebody you trust to watch them. Families will do that often. One of the options that Disney does have, and this is per availability, I believe it's either charged by the hour or half hour. I can't remember. I'll have to go back and look, but this is something that I can find out the answer for you without just pure speculation, is that Disney offers in-room child care service. And there's a fee for that. These are cast members that have been background checked, that have been trained to work with young children, and there are some age limitations to that, and kind of the number of children and whatnot versus the number of cast members that are there to watch over your kids. If you have questions about that, if you're curious about that, we'd love to share some information with you about that. So the last thing, let's talk about this. Tonight, to wrap it all up, I mentioned earlier that we would get back to this, and that's proximity. You're in the Disney bubble. You're in the middle of the magic. There's nothing like staying on property, and from the moment you get there, even if you drive under the Walt Disney World, welcome to Walt Disney World Arch. You know what I'm talking about if you've been there, if you've driven on property before, or that moment that you get on the bus for the first time. You see that first Disney cast member in uniform with their name badge on, and you're like, yep, I'm here. This is it. And I'm getting chills just thinking about it right now. There's nothing like that, knowing that you're in there part of the story. So there's a reason why Disney calls their employees cast members and not employees or associates, is that they're cast members. They're there, they're part of the story, they're part of the show, and you are just as much as they are in a lot of ways. So you're there to help live it, to experience it, and the level of customer service and professionalism that is there that I've experienced, not just as a guest, but also as a cast member when I was there briefly, is amazing. And yes, there are going to be bad experiences and bad days. There are going to be bad experiences and bad days everywhere. There's no place on the earth, Sounds totally cliche, but it's true. There's no place on this earth that is 100% perfect and gets it 100% correct. But I'll tell you this, Disney gets it awfully close, and they do a great job at it. And one of the things that I can do, working with you, doing this, podcast, weekly Facebook Live thing, is to help you connect with those cast members, to help you know what is available for you, to help you manage your expectations, to know what you can do, what you can't do, what's going to be available, what's changing, all those sorts of things. Because I want you to have a good time, and I want you to be able to, experience the magic that is staying on property. There's nothing like, for me, there's nothing like for me just having an amazing day in the parks and getting on that bus and just having conversations with other guests on the way back about how great your day was, or seeing people smile, or kids fall asleep on the shoulders of their parents after a long day in the parks. There's something about that exhaustion, to me, that is special and magical. There's nothing like, going to the parks during the holidays and getting back to your resort hotels and seeing these massive Christmas trees greet you in your lobby, or hearing some, wonderful cheer for holiday music in the background as you get back in. You're part of the story. You're in it. You're living it, and it can be a wonderful time. So, the question we started off with today, our topic was Walt Disney World Resort Hotel Perks. Are they worth it? I've given you some of them. I can't decide for you whether they are or not. That's up to you. For me and my family, I'll say yes, they are worth it, and there's a reason why we decide to stay on property, because we love it and it's a lot of fun. Also, towards the beginning, we mentioned this. We mentioned that the people are what make the perks at Disney possible. The people are what make the perks at Disney possible. Technology is a great thing, but it is the people that make dreams become reality. It is the people that drive the buses, that pilot the monorails and captain the boats. It's the people that watch over attractions and make sure people are safe. It is the people that are there for you every step of the way if needed. So if you go on a trip, thank the people. Yes, you get all these great perks. It's great to talk about it. It's a lot of fun. But thank the cast members that are there. For some of them, it may be expected, but for a lot of them, it may not be, especially for that freshman cast member there on the Disney College program for the first time that's just learning the rope. Encourage them. It could go a long way. It could brighten your day. It could brighten their day. It can brighten a lot of people's day that come after you that encounter that same cast member. So thank you all for joining me tonight. Again, if you have any additional questions, comments, concerns, things you agree with, things you disagree with, promotions you want to know about, those sorts of things, please let me know. I would also appreciate a like or a share for this Facebook Live. That would be totally cool, just to kind of connect with some other people. Again, I'm not sponsored. This is just kind of me doing this thing, and I hope you enjoy it. Reviews on Apple Podcast are awesome, on this little thing called Travel Leaders Network, and also on my Facebook page as well. That just kind of lets other people know what this is all about. And again, if I can serve you, please let me know. I'd love to talk to you about it, and love to be there for you. So last but not least, let me remind you about some of the opportunities that you're going to have to respond to serve other people, to respond to bless other people through your gifts, through your sacrifices that are in the Bahamas, some of those that have been affected by Hurricane Dorian. We want to make sure that you have an opportunity to do that. That is something that matters to me, and I hope that it matters to you. And hope that if you want to, great. If you want to, that's okay too. I'm not judging or anything like that, but just want to give you that opportunity. So again, you got any plans for any magical destinations to Florida or anywhere around the world? Would love to chance to talk with you. My travel planning services are always free to you. And if you have questions about that and how it works, let me know. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. If you've got any topics you would like to cover in future weeks, please let me know. We'll see you again real soon. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.